All right, so just about an hour or so ago, we went back into stage 2 blackouts. It's been suspended for most of today, but this pattern now very much in place. But I'm afraid if you live in Northriding, you probably wouldn't be able to tell much of a difference. As power outages persist in Northriding, in Johannesburg, they've been left in the dark for very, very long periods. The issue is as well, often they don't know whether it's the blackouts or if it's our power failure in the area. So disgruntled community members, so angry they took to the streets last night, blockading roads and burning tyres after suffering through an almost entire day or two without any power or any reason why. Residents say this was meant to ensure that service deliveries will be taking place. It's the only way to get the attention. The question is to reporter Bafedile Moerane, who was out in Northriding for us. Bafedile, good to have you on the show. Do you get a sense it made any difference? Because the mayor was there, the councillor was there, but it's all starting to sound the same to me from the mayor, isn't it?
Most certainly, Gareth. The mayor was on the ground this morning following what we saw, the rampage by residents. Very furious, having to say that for the past 3 years to now, they have been encountering constant power cuts with no clarity and indication from the municipality as to what could be the problem. And what's really frustrating them is that they are forced to pay rates, high rates that we're talking about, having to be in the suburb. That's not a suburb. And then having to be subjected to this kind of outrage. Businesses in the area also forced to dig deeper in their pockets because now they have to find other alternatives in ensuring that they keep their business running.
Like solar and generators and all that expensive stuff, yeah.
Most certainly. So the mayor is there, but having to say that because of the high population density, the growth of housing developments in the area, the grid is not able to carry the capacity at this point in time. But they are working on the issue of infrastructure, which also seems to be a serious problem. Decaying infrastructure, that's what we know we attest in most parts of the city of Johannesburg. But we spoke to the mayor earlier on, having to say that they are really trying their best. They are on the ground. The reason why we saw him having to be on the ground, it is one reason to show that he is responding to the crisis the community is facing at this point in time. And he has also called on them to be more patient at this point in time. But the community is really furious. Let's listen to what the mayor had said to us earlier on.
Should be constructive conversations, with, in particular, the Department of Development Planning. And in every area that you seek to improve upon, there has to be approvals. And those approvals need to be considerate of certain challenges that might emanate from certain decisions that you make. It is an issue with the infrastructure overload in this area. And it's impacting negatively on the service delivery, but it's not due to a lack of budget or an aging infrastructure. It's a lack of, it's in fact poor planning, and prioritizing the need for housing, because the area is an affluent area and it's people that can afford. And property developers need to be given an opportunity. As an economic hub, there has to be provision, or you need to create an environment conducive for business to thrive. But I guess our predecessors did not preempt the fact that we'll be faced with such challenges in the current. But we are tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that we mitigate in the immediate, and we also deploy long-term solutions that would prevent future occurrences of this nature.
And this is kind of my point, Bafedile, isn't it? That yes, the mayor is going around to some areas, Northriding in this particular case, but asking for the residents to have more patience. I don't imagine, as you tell us what the councillor had to say, when the mayor asks the residents who are living in the dark to be more patient, I don't imagine that went very well, did it?
The councillor is saying that they cannot take it anymore. He has, on numerous occasions, been engaging City Power in particular to say, please come and help us with the issue that we're having. But it's still the same problem. Even this morning we saw City Power officials on the ground. We arrived in the area around 7:30, but when we left the area around 4:30 this afternoon, still there was no power. There's a likelihood that we might see the community members also having to go down to the streets because of the challenges that are persisting there. Let's listen to the councillor.
The issue is an overloaded system, a crumbling system, something that I've addressed with City Power 3 years ago, 2021 already, where they were then saying that they were going to take a certain section off, and then there's Kaya Sands and Northriding Agricultural, take it off our grid, and they were going to put a new substation in. I explained to them at the time, a substation will cost X amount and take 3 years to build. We don't need it. We have the capacity at Olivedale, which they didn't even realize, but then once I got them to check, they realized it. And then we just needed to put in a cable and a main switching station at the intersection of Malibongwe and Witkoppen. They said, oh, this is fantastic. I said, yeah, it takes a third of the money, it can be done in a year, and let's go. Well, it still hasn't started. These are the things that I'm battling with.
And I suppose the most frustrating part, Bafedile, as I say goodbye to you, is that there's no quick fix for this. Yes, you can get the mayor out there, you can get city power out there, you can get the councillor out there, but for the residents of Northriding and many other areas, this isn't going to be fixed overnight.
It's not. The same way as it did not develop overnight. The mayor is saying that they need more time to ensure that they mobilize everything so that they can be able to look into the issue of infrastructure in particular, Gareth.
Okay, so that's where Northriding is. So I'm sure that Northriding doesn't have much power at the moment. Bafedile, thank you very much for going out there and hearing from the residents. So obviously much of Northriding at the moment probably isn't able to watch the show. So if you know someone living in Northriding, you want to pass on the message. What's the Joburg mayor asking for? Patience. Patience, that's what he's asking for at the moment. But they say they are on it. It's 5:15 on Today in just a moment.